everyone to this fantastic episode of Fika Podcast. One more time, having an international guest. So don't worry, if you don't understand English, you can always watch this in our YouTube channel with the captions. But please, before we continue, do not forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can get all the content that we are preparing for you. So today, we have a fantastic friend here. We have invited a real Oriflamian, a dear friend who really embodies all the values of these fantastic companies in and out. She's absolutely fantastic, and you will notice why. So Sofía is Ukrainian by birth, but she has been working for Oriflame UK for a few years already, for some years already. But let us, Sofía, be the one who introduces herself, because nobody except Sofía can do this better. So Sofía, tell the Fika Podcast audience in Mexico or in Latin America who you are, what do you do in Oriflame, and a little bit of your journey in Oriflame, Sofía. Welcome.
Thank you, Santiago, and thank you to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you are watching this episode. Sofía Radomska is my name, as Santiago said. I was born in Ukraine and I moved to Sweden as quite a young girl. So I often say that I have sort of lost identity child, or two identities, however you want to have it. So being Ukrainian and being Swedish, because I spent majority of my adult life actually in Sweden. So I'm a bit turned, who am I, and it's quite an exciting feeling to be. In the UK, I have been the last almost 9 years, Santiago, it has been.
Already 9 years, wow.
9 years, yes, but I am a real Oriflamian, and I will be celebrating my anniversary in September, and it's going to be 17 years.
Fantastic. Sofía is the managing director of our operation in the UK, and there's a lot to learn about what Oriflame is doing in the UK. So let me, Sofía, get into the matter by asking you, because we, your colleagues, listen a lot about the UK being this so-called incubation market. But we just hear the terminology, but we don't really grasp the meaning of that. Is it good? Is it not good? Is it kind of a lab? Can you please elaborate on that, Sofía?
Absolutely, with big pleasure. We're actually very honored to be chosen as an incubating market. And perhaps first I will explain a little bit about the UK as the market. UK actually is the 5th biggest direct sales market in Europe.
Wow.
So the potential is huge, as you can see, Santiago. Really, it really is. And what is really important is that direct sales as the method is well known and well respected in the country. So that makes life of our brand partners a bit easier. It's not a weird thing to talk about direct sales, to show the catalog, to knock on the door. It's actually quite a privilege, and people love it doing that. The other bit is UK is considered as the gateway to Europe. So whenever there are any American companies or Australian companies that want to put their foot into Europe, they would usually start their journey from the UK. So for us, it's super important to be present here so we can keep our ears open to what's happening in the industry, what other companies are having, is there something that we may learn from them, and so forth. So we are really perfectly positioned in that sense. But also to add to that, UK, Oriflame in the UK has been present almost 55 years. We will be celebrating our 55th anniversary next year. So we are quite a mature market. And as you know, in markets that have been present for so long, there have been lots of ups, lots of downs. So I moved here 9 years ago, and as a decision was made to make some big changes with how we operate, and the big focus was on rejuvenation of the brand and rejuvenation of the field. So we made some big initiatives, some big changes, and as the result, we actually have seen double-digit sales growth year on year. in the last 8 years, which is phenomenal. That's why I'm wearing green, Santiago, because I'm celebrating. And
very good, Sophia. Well deserved. You need to wear green so every day.
Exactly, but then not just that, have that focus on rejuvenation, have the focus on the brand. We managed to attract some very strong, some very good network marketing leaders. And when you are incubating market, which means a market that's going to test lots of things, that's all it is. It's the market that's going to be testing lots of new initiatives, and then when they work, we're going to share with the Europe and with the rest of the world. And if it doesn't work, we just move on very quickly. So it's very important when you have these kind of changes that you have leaders with the right mindset, because change is good. Change is necessary. And if you don't change, you don't keep moving. So I'm very, very lucky. I'm very lucky to be managing a market with some fabulous leaders.
Good for you, Sophia. And thank you for explaining a little bit more what the incubating market means for us, for Oriflame, for everyone. Okay, Sophia, I'm going to jump into something that is definitely very interesting for our distributors, for our partners, brand partners here in Latin America. You just mentioned that the world happens to be pretty dynamic. Everything is moving very fast. And then what happens along the way is that some companies that were probably in business before, they probably collapse in the future because there are many different reasons. And that was exactly what happened to another company that was operating in the UK. But what was amazing to hear from this part of the world is what you actually did when that company collapsed. You with your leaders, you gathered the troops and you did something fantastic, because many of those former distributors of that company actually ended up in Oriflame. So the question is, Sophia, first, did you study that company before to thoroughly, so you know what to say, what not to say? Second, what was the sales pitch? What were the arguments that you actually used to persuade these people? And third, what did you do as a company, and what did leaders do from their side? Can you unpack these three things for us?
Yeah, Santiago, I think you probably expect quite a complicated answer, but it actually was quite simple. So I will share that with you. Firstly, when I see brands collapsing, I personally find it very sad, because I love anything, I love having competition. That's what drives us. So it was quite a sad moment, to be honest. What did we do? I think very, very important. We always keep our ears open. What's happening in the industry? So already quite few months before it happened, we started to hear there is a bit of trouble in other companies. And as the first and probably the most important thing we did, myself, my team, but also the leaders, we got loud. So what we mean by got loud, we started to shout about the product, about the business opportunity, about the community in all aspects. We started literally shout about Oriflame in a good way. We really, really became loud. So it was a lot about Oriflame. We did some digital advertising, but mainly it were leaders who were constantly present on social media, talking proudly why Oriflame and why now. But at the end of the day, there are many companies out here with a similar products. So what made us stand out? Why did they choose Oriflame at the end? I think what is important is we were correctly positioned. We had certain things. I will not now list all of them, but if I would pick up three, let's say, we had something, we have a program which is called Elite Sellers, where we are highly focused on recognizing our sellers. And the leaders from that company, they tend to be big sellers. So for them, it was quite attractive. They wanted a company where they knew as the seller, you're rewarded and you're recognized. They've got that with us. The number two things, the leaders from another company, they were used to recruit with the starter kits. And we had starter kits as part of our business opportunity proposition. And I think it's so important, if you are a leader and you start recruiting, is learn how to recruit with the starter kit. Because we as the company, we will make sure the starter kits are super attractive. And I'm sure in your country, Santiago, you have some amazing starter kits I have seen, because you have been sharing. You are very, very lucky with the box you have got and the products you have chosen. And I heard you have lots of samples there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're very fond of that.
Yeah, so for us, it was what actually worked is we had the starter kits, it was attractive to the leaders, and they joined the company that had strong starter kits because they knew how to work with it. And last but not least is our compensation plan. The compensation plan that Oriflame has got is really one of the best in the direct selling world, and we should be very, very proud that we have got that plan that attracts strong leaders from other companies, and it pays well. So I think as the company we were correctly positioned, but as I said, the second thing which was really important, we got really, really loud and proud about Oriflame.
Yeah, you're Sophia just mentioning three fantastic and fundamental pillars that we are considering very carefully now that we will be embarking into the BCM in the soon, in the last quarter of the year, something around that. So fantastic that you have emphasized those 3 points. So Sofia, jump in a little bit again, not just the business, but Sofía Radomska, who is the most important person in this podcast now. I honestly have to tell you something, and of course I should have told you that privately, but I will do it publicly here. I have seen you for many years being very successful. And one thing I admire from you, Sophia, is that even though you're successful, you have never become cocky and arrogant, because you have this kind of different personality, and the more you grow, the more you succeed, the better you become, the more you want to help others MDs like me and other colleagues, because this spirit is what I see. I just saw it in Marrakesh a few weeks back. You were the one winning, you were the one on stage, but you were the one giving hugs and telling everyone that we all can share the stage one day with you. And I love that from you, Sophia. I'm very grateful. But please tell the people, how can we all become good winners?
Thank you so much. Honestly, I feel very honored. I'm blushing, you can see. It's not my success, Santiago. It's our success. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't be here without Afjokniks. I wouldn't be here without my leaders. This is, Oriflame has made me to who I am. If you talk about Sofía Radomska, Oriflame has made me to a person I am today. I'm very proud, but also very grateful. And I think the company with so strong values, and we have met Anna Afjoknik, didn't we, a few weeks ago in Marrakesh. And when I came back, I had a smile on my face, knowing this is a perfect place to be, because even after almost 60 years, our values and our mission remain unchanged. That is so important, so important. So really, I think it's a people's business. So my tip would be, strong together, much stronger when we are together, and sharing the success. It's really what gives me the energy to move forward. So it's not a people's business. We know that very well. It's a team's business, isn't it?
So here's the greatness of your personality again, and we have decided to kind of have a title for this podcast, and the title of this podcast is Humble in Triumph. This is what Sofía Radomska is. It's humble in triumph. So it's very, very nice what we see, what we learn from you by looking at you when you're interacting with everyone like us, or like others that are probably not at the same level of growth, not at the same level of success currently. So we feel energized by being with people like you. Okay, Sophia, a little bit of a sneak peek about Sofía Radomska that people don't know. I will reveal this to my audience because I'm a believer in the kind of a balanced life. And Sophia works so many hours, as everyone in Oriflame, as you leaders also work so many hours. But what you don't know is that Sophia has this perfect balance, because she goes in the morning, she runs 100 kilometers from the northern part of the Isles to the southern part, 100 kilometers, and then she jumps into a swimming pool with ice. He's an extreme person when it comes to sports. Is this, Sophia, helping you to face the challenges of the day in the morning?
This is where I find my biggest peace. And I know it sounds, how can you have a peace when you run? Running is something I'm very passionate about. That's when I get the most creative ideas. My husband usually says to me, are you putting your creative hat on? Imaginary hat on? I said, yes, I have my creative hat on. Bye, see you in a couple of hours. I think successful people need to have routines. And I think my routine, my personal routine, it starts with an exercise in the morning. It's at 5:45, I wake up, at 6 o'clock, I'm out in the woods running. By the time I come back, I have so much adrenaline, I have so much energy, and I have so many good ideas. When I come to the office, my team now, have you been running? I said, yeah, guys, I've got the list. But in reality, it's very, very therapeutical for me as well, because that's my time to relax, to put the kids behind, fantastic. The work behind, but also to get some creative ideas.
That's fantastic. And for some Mexicans that are listening to this, now you know who Sofía Radomska is. Whenever you see her in a big conference in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, whatever, be aware that this lady is professional when it comes to running. Don't go and run with Sofía Radomska without your passport, because she can run many kilometers, many kilometers. Okay, thank you for that, Sophia. I'm also a believer in the personal routine. And let me just finalize this fantastic conversation. I wish I could be with you for another 5 hours, but you're a busy person. Let me just have a last piece of conversation with you. Sophia, we are, as I said it before, embarking into BCM in Q4 probably. And we know that UK is still not there. It will probably be there later. But what we also know is that BCM cannot really be successful unless we are very active and very successful in social media and the digital channels. And we have seen how important this is in the UK. And this is part of this rejuvenation that you mentioned, but it is also part of the Sofía Radomska effect. Can you please share a piece of advice for our leaders before they embark in BCM? What are the things that they have to watch carefully on the digital presence?
Thanks. That's a very good question. And I think you guys are so lucky to get BCM. We are next in queue in few months' time. It is a fantastic concept. It requires some digital knowledge, but really don't be worried. My first advice would be, when people say digital, it doesn't need to be a Kardashian level of influencer to promote your Oriflame business. I always say to my leaders, they say, I'm not sure this is for me. But I'm saying, please don't think like that. Don't think you need to be a Kardashian level of influencer to start promoting your business on Oriflame business. It's really, really simple. The advice here is, when I look a little bit on statistics, 70% of shoppers in the UK, they shop on their sofa on the phone. And then when I looked into Mexico, it's almost 60% already. So we need to go there where our customers are. And our customers are shopping on the phone. So we need to we need to be sure that we are present. We know what we are doing when the BCM starts for you guys. And I think if you are considering which platform should I become, should use and so forth, my first advice would be, where is your audience? Is your audience, Gen Z, and they are using TikTok, and they only trust influencers on TikTok? That's where you should go. But if you are looking to interact with moms who are in their 30s or their 40s, and they use mainly Instagram, again, this is the platform to go. And my advice would be, don't try to master all the platforms. First, decide where is your audience and become master of one platform and become really, really good in one. But then keep your eyes open, keep developing, keep growing, keep learning other platforms, but become a master at least of one platform. And I think this would be a tip. And then also what I would like to say to you guys, when you start promoting products, when you start selling online, think about whatever I'm going to do. Is it a video? Is it a product recommendation? It needs to be what I call snackable. So it cannot be longer than a minute and 30 minutes. A minute and 30 seconds is because people don't have time. They don't want to watch something which is 2, 4, 3, 5 minutes. They want to be what I call snackable. While you're snacking, you're watching a little content. So be sure who is your audience and show your love. I don't know, guys, have you got the Oriflame sharing app?
Yeah.
That's the solution for everything. It really is a world-class tool. Because what I say, we don't sell in Oriflame. We really don't sell in Oriflame. We passionately promote products. And the key to success here is how we do it, what content we use. And if you are unsure, just use the Oriflame sharing app. It's the world-class tool. It really is.
Fantastic, Sophia. And as a teaser, just to create the expectation, we will be launching very soon in Mexico what you explained in Marrakesh not so long time ago about this code to be used in TikTok, so that we can actually sell in TikTok, because you know that selling in TikTok is complicated because the platform doesn't really allow you to sell. But now that we have this code and the system that you explained, we're going to be launching this very soon in Mexico.
Yet another world-class tool.
Yeah, absolutely. Sophia, it has been fantastic. These people are telling me that we have already spoken a lot, and you said that things have to be short. So we're gonna have to end this conversation, but I will not do that without you promising that you will come to Fika Podcast again in the future, because we want to be close to people that are being successful and not cocky, successful and not arrogant, successful and soul loving, as you have always been. Sophia, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for this audience. They all were waiting to listen to someone so fantastic like you. Hope to see you very soon in one of the conferences in Oriflame. Best regards to everyone there in Europe, and thank you very much, Sophia. Bye bye.
Thank you, Mexican team, and everybody. Best of luck. We love you.